Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a bit of an interesting one tonight because Ace and I have been out of our NGS matches respectively for about a combined 7 minutes.
6 minutes and 30 seconds of those is probably you.
Yeah, just about.
Oh, good God.
Also interesting, these two teams played literally last night. I think it's been less than 24... It's definitely been less than 30 hours since they last played each other in an NGS match. And it was unfortunate the way that it ended. Both teams took a game and could not actually field a full roster of players going into game number 3. There was a disconnect on the side of PSISTORM, so by default, it ended up going in favor of Team Rainbow Strike Go. But since we actually haven't had the game go quite yet, we can talk about how we got to Tomb of the Spider Queen for map number 1. If you're familiar with the first series, they banned all of the same maps, which is to say Braxis Shrines, Towers, and Cursed Hollow. Yesterday we actually went to Sky Temple for game number 1, but PSISTORM deciding that they don't want to try and make a repeat performance there. They want to try and get a win on Tomb of the Spider Queen instead.
So, Ektar,
what's up?
I'm not full in on all the information here. So tell me, why are they doing this match again? Are they deciding to reset the whole match?
I understand your questioning, and no, this is just the second match in a double round robin division.
B West is double round robin?
This is D West.
Your stream says B West.
Does it?
That's why I was confused.
It definitely says Delta West for me.
Ah, well.
Try refreshing and see if that's not updated.
I have as of the how we got here screen, but you know what? That is unimportant at this point. We now know it's a double round robin division. ETC, Garrosh banned out for Team Rainbow Strike Go. Picking up the Johanna first.
I see. It's the, that's where it says B and not D. I forgot to change that guy.
There you go.
We go. I only fixed the stream title.
Yeah.
Alright, so we can talk about draft things. I like the ETC ban. I'm a little bit surprised that they banned out Garrosh and left Joe up, but I guess with the first pick they wanted the Johanna, so that actually makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, and they got it.
I don't remember a Urel in the first series, though, to be fair. I only was able to watch the first game, and Rhaegar is just kind of everywhere these days, so I like to see Rhaegar getting first picked or banned.
Yeah, we played against Rhaegar not 30 seconds ago. Bloodlust Rhaegar. We did win. We ended up, there was a really, really dumb fight that lasted almost a minute, where nobody died because skill shots are hard to hit. Please don't at me. But yeah, Bloodlust Rhaegar is all the hotness these days, and I don't blame him for banning it out, but so far, really like the draft on Team Rainbow Strike Go. Johanna and Tassadar is all the wave clear you need on the world, and Lucio is a good support.
Not only is he a good support, but he helps you with your rotations, and on Tomb of the Spider Queen, you can literally just speed boost around. You don't need to mount in every situation, and just the map design, there's a lot of good places to wall ride, so I think Lucio is particularly good on Tomb of the Spider Queen. However, I also like the comp coming out from PSISTORM. Jaina maybe a little bit less so, just because her wave clear is so long cooldown, but Melganis is a really solid tank these days. Lunara, I'm a big fan of Lunara personally, and I've actually seen the Stukov in the previous game, and he was able to follow up the crowd control really well with the lurking arms.
That is a good thing. I think the Mal'Ganis could be used to do sleep ring combos, especially post 20, which could be particularly devastating.
Yes. The Leo getting banned out is definitely a respect ban. There was a lot of Entomb engages that would end up with a mosh pit inside of it, giving you the old jailhouse rock, and then drop a Ring of Frost on top of it, and got them a lot of one-team fights.
It's a single jail cell. It's the Maiev combo. That's the jailhouse rock.
I see.
Yeah, that's all right, though. We do have Sonya as a final pickup here. You know, just looking at it, I couldn't tell you if it's Leap or Wrath Sonya. I would, like, if I were picking it, I'd probably say Wrath Sonya, but you know, Leap is quite popular these days now that it's been buffed a couple times.
It's also a really nice way to set up a Ring of Frost.
It sure is. They do have a lot of Ring of Frost setups, so...
We didn't, however, mention the Kira. I don't see her a ton these days. What do you think about Kira in 2020 meta?
I've only seen Kira once since 2020 started, and that's on Vipey's stream, when he obliterated us several times. So, played well, Kira good. Played poorly, Kira feed. That is the Kira way.
Alright, Super Sticks. Which one are you going to be today?
Yep.
Alrighty, so we have spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, PSISTORM. Yes, that PSISTORM. With Valera playing Jaina, Xenoender playing Lunara, Pelibris playing the Mal'Ganis, Ron playing the Stukov, and Smoke is on Sonya.
And on the right side of the map, in the red trunks, we do have Silver on Johanna. We've got Kingleberry on Imperius, Robert on Tassadar, Panda Supreme on Lucio, and Super Sticks on Kira. It is Team Rainbow Strike Go.
As we want to do, we're going to check out the level 1 talents, and we have stacking of the Q variety coming up from Tassadar, which I think is a little monk-esque on this map because you rotate mid-top so often so fast. It's hard to keep his auto attack stacked, which it does give you that on your Q hits, but it doesn't give you anything else as far as mana sustain, and you could find yourself running out of mana very quickly trying to soak 2 lanes.
We could talk a long time about these level 1s from Team Rainbow Strike Go. I would call 4 out of the 5 unconventional level 1s, with only Johanna's being the standard for this, so...
Yeah, Accelerando is a little bit of a strange pickup. I think it's the least commonly chosen of the 3, to be honest.
I think least commonly chosen is absolutely correct. Power level can be debated, but sure enough, least chosen is correct. Gank onto Smoke in the bottom lane. It's going to get that Kira revolving sweep around, and Imperius didn't need the spear, goes over the wall, and the bleed effect causes first blood.
It sure does. On the other side, we do have the Super Wisp. We've got Fingers of Frost, which I actually remember what it's called, and that's fantastic. I think Necrotic Embrace? No, Wingguard. Necrotic Embrace is the ability. And the Low Blow coming out from Stukov, looking to secure some kills on those low health targets.
Yeah, Low Blow does a lot of damage. It's really underestimated. Kingleberry now in a bunch of trouble as a 5-man gank is coming down to the bottom lane, but they do not opt to dive the towers, and Kingleberry walks out with about 500 health, and that is that could be a significant amount of soak missed.
I want to point out as well, if they were level 13, that would have been a successful Lurking Arm combo from the Stukov already, so just kind of flexing a little bit that they have that on lock.
To be fair, it's still pretty close. Like, the 13 makes it root, but it's still, what, a 70 or 80% slow? I think it's 70% slow. And still sticking him in that silence pool is still a very good thing, so...
Yeah, root would have definitely secured that kill, though.
Correct.
We've got the level 4s coming in now for the side of Team Rainbow Strike Go. A little bit of an engage onto Lunara, but she's just barely quick enough to get on over there. We do have Tassadar going in for the self-sustain in the shield and not going for the electric fence, which is also popular. I frankly don't even know what the other talent is on for because it's at this point chosen so rarely by comparison. Oh, it's move speed on Q.
Move speed on Q, that is that's a thing, so... Yep, gems being collected on both sides, with Team Rainbow Strike Go having just a couple more due to the gank, which does generate 3 gems, and...
I don't believe anyone picked up Smoke's gems off of that first gank either.
I don't think he had any gems off that first gank either.
It was pretty quick. I think he probably had some, though.
So
Silver holding almost all the gems for Team Rainbow Strike Go in the 4-man, which is really good because that means you only need to get one person turning in to actually get all that value.
Yep, and he is going to go for it, and PSISTORM does not recognize it, so half the gems now turned in for Team Rainbow Strike Go towards their requisite 50 for the first turn in. And if they get everyone, they can do it now, but there's a bit much going on.
Yeah, another bit of a rotation down from Super Sticks into the bottom lane, trying to put some damage and fear into Smoke, as well as help Imperius to clear up that camp. Both teams jockeying for position here. Actually, a good slow onto Lucio is going to force him to push off to get away from the Mal'Ganis stuns. But we have the level 7s now coming in.
Yeah, check your screen. I think you're on draft still. Lucio gets bopped and killed. Nice lurking arm again from Ron. Ends up taking him out with that, again, the slow combo. Not quite a root yet, but it will be soon.
Yep. So they're going to get some gems turned in, and Xenolander is going to rotate to make sure they don't miss any of that mid XP, which is oh so valuable. Another engagement coming down onto Smoke is going to get a nice follow-up spear on Kingleberry, and that is going to be the second kill and second successful Kira gank out onto Sonya down there.
Yeah, the rotations down bottom have been very successful for Team Rainbow Strike Go, but it is, and it's allowing their 3-man with Tassadar and Johanna to clean up lanes just as fast, because those two heroes have an absolutely obscene amount of wave clear together.
Yep. Tassadar, after level 2, can kill 4 minions with 2 abilities and significantly damage the others if you land all of it on the backline minions and the caster one as well. So, really an absurd amount of wave clear. A bit of rotation coming up now. Panda Supreme using that reverse amp to get Valera out of position is going to get engaged upon by Super Sticks, and the Force Wall not even needed to secure that kill. Right as their opponent's Web Weavers are coming down. Actually, a lot of damage coming into Tassadar, and that is the counter kill. And that's wave clear mage for wave clear mage. Really well done by both teams, but I think that has to favor PSISTORM because they don't have Tassadar now for the defense as these Web Weavers are coming down.
Yeah, the Tassadar is a big amount of the wave clear that that will clean up these Web Weavers, so while they won't get too much, they are going to get more than if Tassadar was there, even in a trade environment. Man, these Stukov slow silences combos are nasty right now.
They really are. Ron is definitely putting in the work. They got all of mid wall, most of top wall, and actually all of bottom wall as well. That one surprised me.
Yeah, that's a decent amount of damage there. So
yeah,
doesn't quite get him level 10 though. Level 10's first picked up for Team Rainbow Strike Go with that 1 kill advantage, and they're going to speed boost with Lucio trying to make something happen.
It's almost the bloodlust we have at home with that amp it up speed boost.
Yeah, and instead of speeding up, oh, it does both with the speed up and slow down effect, and then you switch over to make the damage happen.
Yep.
It is definitely the one we have at home. Kingleberry goes in, gets a large spear on Mal'Ganis. Defensive barrier comes out from Lucio. Mal'Ganis is somehow not dead yet, does get killed by the Shockray, but Robert, in channeling that, is going to be saved. JK, Jaina with a nice piercing frostbolt, was able to pierce through that 3% per second shield. Silver grabs the turn-in, and wow, Red Web Weaver's picked up in quite an interesting way.
Yeah, very bloodbathy. We do have, we saw the ring come out, we've got the leap, and then otherwise basically all standard ults across both teams. And
yep. Nothing too spicy coming out.
Yeah, luckily for PSISTORM, it's only Mal'Ganis who's dead at the start of that objective. So, not missing a whole lot in the wave clear department, and gonna blow up this mid-web weaver immediately without almost anything being done. Bot is being cleared by Sonya, so that shouldn't get a lot done. And now the focus, as it so often is on this map, is in top lane.
Sonya did take about half her health and damage from a nice Imperious rotation, so she might have to play a little bit more safely to be able to clear, but it looks like the gank, or rather push lane, is now going to be the bottom, and they're probably going to secure this bottom fort here.
It almost looked like they were going to run past this fort. In fact, Panda Supreme is running past the fort with Silver as well in tow, but really not going to be able to get anything other than scaring Sonya out of a defensive position. But it looks like PSISTORM might be trying to make an engagement happen here. The engagement does start on Tassadar with a huge leap combo. The ring doesn't quite come out in time, and it comes out a little bit late actually, but still well enough. Final Cut does secure the kill out onto Jaina. I believe Mal'Ganis gets that kill onto Lunara. Kingleberry is very low, trying to get out of there with the power of the swords on defense. Barely 2 digits of hit points is going to see him get out of there, and Sonya gets counter-killed.
That is actually incredible. Polyborus is in a little bit of trouble. Is going to get speared at least. I can't guarantee that he's going to get out or not. I think he's dead as crap. That is a 4 kill to 2 advantage for Team Rainbow Strike Go, not really what I expected once that fight began with the leap ring combo.
It was a little bit messy on both sides, but, you know, I love watching bloodbathy team fights, so keep it up, teams.
5-for-5 trade win on boss.
Ooh, don't you threaten me with a good time. So we've got the turn-in coming in from Team Rainbow Strike Go. Really nothing PSISTORM could have done about it. Ron did get his 40 gems in, though. That's pretty big and noteworthy.
Yeah.
Kira is on bottom camp, but there's nothing anyone can really do about that other than let it happen. And bot lane is pushed out really far, which means that PSISTORM has to make a decision. Do we defend top, which is the boss lane, or do we defend bot, which is our keep? I might have said top bot wrong, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure, and it does seem like they went ahead, helped push out the lane, and then left Sonya there to her own devices to clean up, while the rest of the team makes a... I'm trying to think like 5v4 or 4v5 defense up in the top, but they've had Imperius or Kira split the entire time. The engagement comes out, and Super Sticks does take a good bit of damage.
Oh my
Xeno
god, that combo.
Wow!
Oh,
that is
some terrible, terrible damage coming out from that Stukov and Jaina combo. Just devastating 3 members for the side of Team Rainbow Strike Go. They will still pick up the fort in the mid lane and the top lane, so it's a good position for them to lose kills in, as far as, you know, losing kills is considered.
Yeah, but Ektar, we ask the age-old question, was it worth it?
I mean, their opponents are likely going to go for a boss and turn in. I would like to see Sonya rotate on up in here, though, because people are starting to res on the side of Team Rainbow Strike Go. Tassadar and Imperius can stand on a point for a long time with their ults available. And Sonya's on... Okay, she looks like she's on Bruiser Camp for a sec. She is rotating up now, and their opponents have identified this is likely happening. Now they have to make a decision. Oof, and they do try to make an engage happen. They do pop the Archon. Smoke is in a bit of a rough spot. Ron's in a bit of a weird spot as well. Valera gets chunked out very hard and is going to fall. The boss is starting to go down the top lane, but Team Rainbow Strike Go are full-on engage at this point. Ron and Xeno are trying to make it out of there. Pelebris as well. Panda Supreme is going to actually help secure that stun with the speed boost, and Melganis is barely going to make it out. They get a counter kill out onto Lucio, and Super Sticks gets brought around the wall.
Oh my god. Oh my god, these team fights, it looks so good from the start. They get their 2 kills. It looks like Melganis is going to go down. Lucio takes a tower shot at a Lunara combo. And suddenly, the fight turns the other way.
Yeah.
2 kills for 2 as Boss picks up the top fort, but PSISTORM still has the turn-in available.
Go ahead and drop your bag of memes emote in chat. It's global, so I know you have it. And what better representation of this game is there, really?
Oh, I love it. I love it so, Ektar, as Pelebris is going to go and turn in 11 of the 15 gems needed, and Xeno will finish up with the pocket change for the rest. Bruiser's picked up for both sides, so there might be a level 16 conflict right here in the mid as far as positioning of the Web Weaver is concerned.
Yeah. Top lane is pushed out a little bit. Bot lane is going to be the least important lane because it still has a fort in it. Both teams are positioned aggressively in mid lane, and I think that PSISTORM don't want to fight here very long. Basically, once the Web Weaver comes down, I think they should try to rotate up into top lane, but a big engagement coming in Melganis. The leap counter engage followed with the amazing Stukov silence and root means that Melganis actually survives a fight I thought for sure he was going to die in. The Archon is starting to chunk out a ton of damage. Silver is going to go down barely. The health bars are so low for both teams. There are so many ways that fight ends differently, and I'm amazed only one hero ended up dying there, but with as low as they got, they are going to settle for taking bottom fort. They might rotate up on a mid fort, but they will not be getting a keep off of this turn-in, more likely than not.
So, Ektar, I don't know if you caught this, but Johanna's dying to poison from Lunara, right?
Yep.
And Lucio amps it up, right?
Yep.
Amp speed.
I saw that, yes.
And I just have to think of that Carbot, where he puts the thing on the headphones on Reaper Kingleberry.
Uh-oh.
Not in a good spot.
That's going to be a really, really rough stagger if you're a TRSG fan, because now there's a 5v4 engagement that can happen on this bot keep if they decide to take it, but they decide not to take it instead. They are going to get a bunch of gems. It'll get them close to a turn-in, but they're not going to have it yet. And they should be on this keep right now.
I mean, they don't have great poke on keep. Yeah, you've got Lunara with Nature's Culling.
They've got so many ults available, though.
That is true, but so does Team Rainbow Strike Go. I mean, it would be 3 ults to 4, and it is a safe play, I suppose. You can't argue. I guess you can argue against a safe play a lot of times, as we have had this argument before over this. But in this scenario, I don't see it being too
for a fight before their Imperius comes back. Superstick sees it, and Pelabris decides not to face check that bush, which also is a safe play.
That's the correct
we're at the
play.
part where they're only up a half a level. No one has a turn in quite yet, but I think Team Rainbow Strike Go might actually get it first just because of how far the lanes are pushed in their favor, and they've actually got a building advantage still.
Yeah, but they do have to deal with the fact that they don't have the map control. Because the lanes are pushed in their favor, they don't have map control to be able to push out safely. So it is a little bit scary moving anywhere on the map if you don't see PSISTORM.
Yeah, and this is going to get PSISTORM the turn-in available. There's only 3 gems necessary to get a turn-in for Team Rainbow Strike Go as well. And now we've got the turn-in race happening. They are not defending in tops. If Smoke gets these in, they get the turn-in available. And it looks like Team Rainbow Strike Go have acknowledged that that's just going to happen. They're not going to try and make a defense. They just want to get level 20s and make a nice fight under their own keeps.
That's the thing they can do. There's a lot of
Alright, Xeno, kill these walls
options. Oh, walls. Kill the walls. That's a wall down.
It sure is. Way to go, Melganis. Actually, listening to the casters in real time, even though we have a 45-second delay on.
That's pretty good. Super Sticks is looking at a little bit of a spicy flank, and nothing comes of it. PSISTORM Gaming rotates into the middle lane, waits for level 20, and picks up that mid fort. But while doing that, it does let TRSG go ahead and clean up that top lane Web Weaver.
It's so safe. And that scares me, because they're not getting enough of an advantage off of their other advantages here.
Yep, the middle Web Weaver's in dangerously low health. Big Ariat Crater Leak comes in. The Angelic Armaments provides 1 of 2 shields. Lucio drops the beat for the second of 2 shields, and PSISTORM Gaming does not have the health bar to compete. Lyra is going to be down to single digits and taken out. Liberis is likely next on the menu as Carrion Swarm's interrupted. Xeno Ender is revealed due to Kira's 20 no sanctuary. That's going to be her taken out. Web Weavers are available to turn in, but it looks like TRSG pushing into the bottom lane to try and take the keep.
They actually lose a keep for doing this, which is worth noting, but their opponents don't have... They have 30 seconds until people start coming up. There's a very good possibility that Team Rainbow Strike Go just ends here, even without a minion wave. The core on this map is not that strong. It's got a big slow on the wave, but it's only 5% hero damage.
Yep.
Kingleberry's low. Kingleberry could actually just die here. They do get the Bossa Nova, which is 4 seconds of keeping Kingleberry alive. Dropping the final cut onto the core, and yeah, that is going to be Team Rainbow Strike Go. They lost most of the game, but they won the part that matters. And that is going to be game number 1, going over in favor of Team Rainbow Strike Go.
That was a nice use of shielding, both from the Heavenly Host, I had to mouse over for that one, and the sound barrier from Lucio to keep their team nice and topped up, and there was no major overlap on those as well. So great use of defensive ultimates to turn that fight around.
Yeah, don't got a lot else to say about that, to be completely honest. I think if you are a Team Rainbow Strike Go fan, you are a little nervous, a little anxious about the way the game played out, because they were losing for a lot of it.
To be fair, yeah, I'll just hard agree with that. I was gonna say something like, yeah, but they won. They had good fights. I mean, they took the right fights when they needed to. They turned around fights really well. And PSISTORM Gaming has to, they've got the combo they need. They just need to pull it together just a little bit, and we know they can from the series yesterday. So overall, it's a good series between teams that do know each other, and that's fun.
Yeah, both of these teams, I don't even necessarily want to say did their homework because it happened literally yesterday, but yeah, really well done. Both teams, how is it you always get into the lobby first? Oh, you invited me to a party. Okay, okay. That does happen, though.
It can.
It has, and it will.
The big reason I am first to appear in the NGS channel because I chose the name even farther ahead in the alphabet than Admiral Aardvark.
If it were just Aardvark, you'd get beaten out, though.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I need to adjust some names because TRSG has a very long one.
Seen some of the information. Where do we think we're going next?
I mean, they did Sky Temple yesterday, and they did it successfully. I don't know why you would mix that up in the second game, to be completely honest.
Is that PSISTORM?
That was PSISTORM. However, I will point out, it ended kind of similarly to the way that this map just ended, except in the other team's favor. TRSG was winning most of the game, and PSISTORM won a very good late-game team fight.
So, right, interesting.
Got confirmation that PSISTORM are going to go for map pick. So I'm going to go ahead and make the lobby because they also sent me what map we're going to. So
is it Sky Temple?
You didn't make a guess yet. What are you gonna wager?
I mean, Sky Temple's a real good guess, and I don't think there's any reason not to say that, but I'll just go ahead. If I was going to say anything, I'd say D-Shire.
Well, it is not. And you can see that
BOE. I kind of saw as I was just saying it, so I didn't want to I didn't want to go against what I thought.
Reasonable.
So
even
though I already knew it was wrong.
Team 2. No match history. Referee because chat. What? No, get referee, not player. Oh man, someone had the incorrect
portrait. Yes,
and I don't remember which person it was.
This looks right.
Yeah, I
Supreme,
so.
Because it was Lucio, Kira, Tassadar, Tank, Johanna, and Imperius. So, yeah.
Yo, this stream sucks. You know what? I'm gonna try and find that NGS caster report form so I can get that feedback from you.
I like how I saw FPS Nate has entered the Nexus. He sees us in a party in a custom game lobby, and then he knows what's going on, so he pops in and just says this stream sucks.
Everyone is entitled to their opinion, except for FPS Nate.
Accurate.
Yeah, it was Ron who had the swapped portraits. Also, I love when people just have regular names as their in-game names. Xeno Ender, Kingleberry, Panda Supreme.
Palaverus.
My name's Ron.
Greek warrior.
It's short for Ronald. Yeah, I was named after my grandfather on my mother's side.
Can't believe they came up with Ektar.
Yeah, it's an old family name. I don't know. Make Silver band captain, please. Robert.
Silver and Valera.
There we go. Alright, so, based on what you saw in the previous game and how different these maps are, what do you think that both teams need to do going into Battlefield of Eternity as compared to Tomb of the Spider Queen?
I don't know why, Ektar. I have no reason at all of why I thought this, but the first thing that came to my mind was panic heavily. Because that's how I have no idea why I thought that. But literally, you're like, what do they need to do? I'm like, just full on panic heavily. Maybe it's because that's how we played our last game on BOE, and panic heavily was what we did. But, you know. Thank goodness we're referees, Ektar.
I know. How did we miss out on this in the first time? Pick Cho'Gall last, obviously.
Oh, oops. The big mind games is when they pick Cho'Gall last.
Yeah, I've never seen a team actually debate like that.
That'd be so good.
I'm already a fan of PSISTORM as an organization, so I like picking up their games, but they're also just funny people. And, you know, it's, as a caster, and this is my personal opinion, I love when teams talk in chat, and I get to read it.
Oh, of course. That's the most important part, is being able to read it. Bans look similar, with the change from the Garrosh to the Jaina on the side of Team Rainbow Strike Go.
Yeah, getting Valeera off of that comfort pick. I'm interested to see what happens, because of the 2 games I've now seen PSISTORM play, Valeera has played Jaina in both of them, and letting Ron get his comfort Stukov, I think, is potentially equally as dangerous, especially because Jaina is maybe less good on this map than she is on some of the others.
So, Ektar, it is well established, at least as far as the meta is concerned, maybe not the statistics, but it's well established in the meta that ETC and Joe are the premier 2 tanks.
You know, there was actually a Not Paradox video about this exact topic that came out in the last 24 hours, but go ahead.
What's PSISTORM's strategy here? By just letting him have it.
The Johanna through?
Yeah.
They're just comfortable with the Mal'Ganis, who is another pretty good tank. He's not quite the Johanna, but especially on Battlefield of Eternity, you don't need Johanna. I think ETC is just better.
I agree.
Here.
I agree with that. I tend to agree with that. I think ETC has a little bit more teamfight control and capability and a little more playmaking power. Johanna is just amazing because wave clear is amazing, and that's just plain good.
Yep. And there goes the map Artanis ban. Not a terrible surprise to see that getting banned out here.
We got to play the Artanis. That was kind of fun.
That was fun.
We have Greymane and Sylph as well.
If I had to guess, I'm going to guess Valeera on Li Ming, which is a weird thing to say.
You are correct, though.
I am correct. That feels so good. Just say that again.
Oh, is that right?
Favorite combination of words to hear.
You have been proven accurate. Thumbs up. Oh, hold on now.
Yeah, but Li Ming on this map, they go together like peanut butter and jelly, because Poke is fantastic, and Valeera brings that in a really big way. Plus, it's kind of a big choky teamfight area, and a lot of the middle areas of the map. I'm saying area a lot. And that is really good for Li Ming, because she can get those resets. It's really easy to land the orbs. Yeah, and wave clear is not as important on some other maps, so not having it in your mage is less important.
Yep, that's very true, and Li Ming does have the ability to go, although I haven't seen it in a real long time, you do have the ability to go,
Fireflies?
Seeker? Is it Seeker on 7, Fireflies on 16, that makes a little...
I think so.
I think it's Seeker, I'm pretty sure that's the name, but it's been so long.
I'm an exclusively Brawl Ming player, so I only know one build.
Face roll W button, W button, W button.
Yeah. Anduin, I think, is a bit of an interesting pick. I wonder if they're going to do Falling Sword Light Bomb.
Oh, please.
I love that combo, and it fell out of fashion in a pretty big way when people realized Anduin's not actually fantastic. But I still love him. Oh. Yeah. Now I need Team Rainbow Strike Go to win this game, Ace.
Why is that?
There's a very, very good chance that Panda Supreme has not yet been educated, and...
Oh. That means we need PSISTORM to win, right? So... Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah. In any
I see
case,
what you
hopefully they
mean.
watch the VOD. You know, we're gonna get all
We're
the
all
Anduin players
We're
on the
all
same
friends.
page. We'll find out in 30 seconds or so.
Yeah.
But before that time, we have spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, looking to bring us to a game number 3. It is PSISTORM, with Valera playing Li Ming, Palabras playing the Varian, Xenoender on Jim Raynor, Ron playing his signature Stukov, and in the top lane we have Smoke playing Imperius.
And on the right side of the map, in the red trunks, we have Robert playing Sylvanas, Kingleberry on Chen, Supersticks on Greymane, Silver playing Johanna, and I gave him as much time as possible. Panda Supreme not running with scissors on Anduin.
So normally we talk about talent at level 1 here, but when we got an Anduin player, thank you so much for the raid, Murda. Oh man, that's so many people we get to educate. If, as Anduin, you throw your W at the wall before the game starts, the projectile goes out, but it disappears like projectiles do on the front wall before the game starts. This means Anduin slings his sword out, but the projectile never comes back, so he just leaves his sword out forever until he dies. We affectionately call it running with scissors, and it's the best visual-only bug that this game has ever introduced.
Alright, fantastic. I've redeemed please explain running with scissors in your chat, so that way we can do it once again.
Yep. Into the top lane, we've got Kingleberry against Smoke, and to be completely frank, I have no idea how this lane arrangement usually ends up going, but it seems to be going very well for Chen right now.
I think it works for Chen. Imperius didn't go % damage, so I don't know if Imperius can really ever do a whole lot of sustained damage to Chen. And Chen has the ability to disengage. Man,
this is the most
like
interesting top lane arrangement I've ever seen on this map. And it's going to start going in favor of Team Rainbow Strike Go, as Chen is able to leap onto Xenoender, and they're both trying to take this camp. There's also a camp being taken in the bot lane. We do not have picture-in-picture here, so we're just going to have to swap back and forth. Xenoender gets brought down and is going to be the first casualty of this game. Bot lane seems to be going in favor of PSISTORM, however. Anduin does have to push or pull Greymane out, but he dies anyway. Smoke is actually starting to win on this camp now. Kingleberry gets stunned out of his brew, and I don't think either person actually ends up getting that camp, but slight advantage in favor of PSISTORM as they were able to pick up a camp in addition to evening the kill count.
I love this series, Ektar. I know we're in Game 2 finally, but I should have been convinced in Game 1, but this is a great series. I love the decisions. We had a top lane, a more top lane, a Smoke now very low, and both duelists with guns going to show up again in top lane. Try and make something happen.
I believe it's pronounced topper lane.
That was, yeah, we have top lane, topper lane. We had nobody in bottom lane, and in the bottomer lane, we had another fight breaking out.
Oh, man.
Imperius dies to Chenburn.
Yeah.
And that's 2 kills for Rainbow Strike Go in that kind of second top lane engagement. Now, they'll get a lot of free push out of this.
Not only that, but they're also going to force their opponents to miss out on a fair bit of XP. Varian does pick up the taunt, not a huge surprise there, as he has been the primary tank in the bottom lane. That's actually a lot of XP getting missed by PSISTORM there. Kingleberry gets brought down kind of low, but is going to be able to stagger and then drink the pain away, as every adult knows all too well in this in these Corona times.
2020 is the year of the Chen, so... PSISTORM was able to pick up the Bruiser camp in time as well as Rainbow Strike Go, but PSISTORM has gotten on this top Immortal much faster, so they're going to take a nice 6,000 health lead into the next phase of the Immortal, where it always spawns in offensive positions.
Yeah, and this is going really well for Team Rainbow Strike Go because there's still 2 camps in the top lane. Big engagement coming out onto Ron. He is likely going to get away from Kingleberry. Palabras gets brought down pretty low as well. And Chen kicking in once again. Ron is low. Imperius gets a big stun onto Kingleberry. He's going to have to try and drink that stagger damage away. Panda Supreme pulled him out of there, but not quite far enough. And we do still have Greymane attempting to burn, but it's him against a whole team, and I think that the team are going to win here.
Yeah, now that Chen was down, the 5v3 is just not quite enough. The Immortal had a good stun that hit too, but it just wasn't...
Top fort, though.
Yeah, I know. I'll say that Bruiser and Siege Camp almost ripped through everything. Fort lives with like 15% HP, and you know, that could just be blown over by a stiff gust of wind relatively soon.
Gosh dang it, Nate. Thank you for being here, Jinx Cat. I appreciate seeing you in chat, and Nate, never change.
Can we ban this man? We get some mods in the Twitch chat.
Ace, you're literally the only mod in my Twitch chat.
Fantastic.
Big boss stun coming out. I don't think that they're going to be able to make anything happen off of that, although taunt variant is a good amount of crowd control, but there's just not a lot of the little blue bars on the side of PSISTORM, so they're going to have to back off on their Valera and probably Raynor as well, as it looks like they're trying to normalize the lane arrangement just a little bit, although they might want to keep their 4-man top because that fort is low.
Yeah, with Robert rotating up into the top and Silver plus Kingleberry rotating up, they definitely want this fort, and I don't think there's anything that Smoke and Xeno Ender can do to save it. So that is top fort going over to Team Rainbow Strike Go, who, again, did not take the Immortal.
They will turn over the bottom camp for it, but a fort is definitely worth a camp, and I know it's very small, but that's 2 globes that they missed over there in the bot lane.
Yeah, that's
plus their opponents are picking up a camp as well, so nice taunt combo comes out. We do get that 80-second cooldown taken out of Panda Supreme to save Super Sticks, but taunt is a much shorter cooldown. Ooh.
Smoke's in trouble in the top lane here. After the camp's been taken, Smoke underestimated the number of people here and the stickiness of a Kingleberry on a Chen. And that's a kill right before this Immortal spawns. He will be back shortly after, yeah, basically as it spawns, but not quite the position you want to be in.
No, and with as much as top lane is being pushed in, PSISTORM unfortunately have to actually go and clear that out, so they're going to put Xeno Ender on. It looks like everyone else is going to try to mount a defense here as the objective is spawning, but it's still a bit of a risky proposition in any case if they get engaged upon by that, as you mentioned, very sticky Kingleberry. It could go really well for Team Rainbow Strike Go.
Yep, they opt to do the burning action, though, and they're going to take that 5,500 Immortal health lead through halftime, as well as about a half-level lead here. If this gets protracted out, we might, as we see the defensive positions, if this gets protracted out, we might have level 10s picked up for Rainbow Strike Go.
They will have to rotate someone down into the bot lane, and it's actually a lot easier at this point for PSISTORM to soak because they have 2 lanes that they can do relatively safely in. We do have the camp going out for the side of Team Rainbow Strike Go, which is giving position for PSISTORM to actually put some serious burn into this Immortal, getting it down to about even between the 2 teams. You got the taunt going on to Johanna. Silver should be able to walk away fairly decently. Ooh, a big stun coming out from the Immortal. Is going to find Ron and Xeno Ender. Ron, the first to fall in this team fight, as level 10s are going to be picked up in just a moment for Team Rainbow Strike Go.
See how fast they can press their buttons if they want to continue pursuing this fight. As Varian goes down as well, giving full burn over to Rainbow Strike Go, and that'll give them a full strength Immortal to work, or a half shield Immortal to work with.
And going ahead and taking this camp as well, definitely trying to push all of their advantages. And if there's one thing I can say that Team Rainbow Strike Go are doing a little bit better than their opponents throughout the series, it's taking advantages of their advantages. When they get ahead, they get more ahead.
That's a good idea to do, Ektar. When you get ahead, get more ahead.
So we've got the 10s coming in for Team Rainbow Strike Go. They've got the Blessed Shield, Panda Pals, Light Bombs. They're not going to do a Falling Sword combo. Go for the throat and the Wailing Arrow. 10s just about to be here for the side of PSISTORM.
Yeah, it's a lot of CC combo, though. When you can go Blessed Shield into Condemn,
they're going to
into
go into
Light
Chen
Bomb.
engage. Chen's going to soak the damage here, and they're going to try and engage behind it. Kingleberry gets a really big jump into a 4-man PSISTORM, and oh, the damage.
Oh, that is some massive damage. Well played by Rainbow Strike Go. A 4-man. Well done. Can we get this person on the casting couch? Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
my thoughts exactly, Valera.
So not a lot.
We had the 10s get picked up for PSISTORM. We have the Wrath of Angiris. We've got the Banshee, the Wave of Force, Massive Shove, and we already had the Taunt, which means I have to go Control 1 to find out that it is Shield Wall.
Pretty standard across the board as far as I'm concerned. I'm kind of surprised Team Rainbow Strike Go didn't push into the keep, but rather opted to take top wall.
It's getting them really close to level 13, which I don't know if their opponents can make up before the next objective.
Yeah, that is true. On 2-lane maps, you need every bit of soak to be able to catch up. I wish I knew how much XP you can make up in between 2 objectives on every map. It's an important thing to know.
Yeah.
So I think if we can remind ourselves at the end when the Immortals spawn, can reevaluate where PSISTORM's XP is at, as the fight might be breaking out here.
Oh, Kangleberry gets a huge lead. Big stun coming out from Imperius onto him. Light Bomb comes out as well. We've got the Wrath of NGS as an escape, and just kind of leaving Varian a little bit high and dry. It's going to be difficult for them to try and save him after this.
Yeah, he's in a real bad spot. Does soak up the go for the throat, and that was 5 ults, or 4 ults used for that fight to quote-unquote only get a Varian, and that's not bad, but it's not going to give them the overwhelming advantage they need to be able to push into a keep or do anything further. So it gives them a kill, but they are going to have some ults down for this next objective.
Thank you, Jinxie Cat, for the 69 bits. I didn't hear the Streamlabs notification, so I don't know if you got the image that goes along with it, but if not, nice.
Well done. All right, Ektar, in that... I know it wasn't optimally soaked, so it's tough to compare, but they did gain 1 1/4 levels during that phase, so you can get slightly under 2 on BOE, I would say.
Yeah, assuming you don't get too many camps or team kills. But
yep.
Easy first half going over in favor of Team Rainbow Strike Go. And PSISTORM are looking like they want to fight down 13. They're positioning like they want to fight, and they might just think that they don't have the time to try and make level 13 before they need to make a defense. Team Rainbow Strike Go actually going ahead and taking that Bruiser camp, so they maybe did have the time to do it, but PSISTORM have identified that this is where they need to make a stand. If they lose this next objective, then they are going to lose a keep and put them into a very losing place for most of this game.
That is it's pretty accurate. Chen with the flying kick goes out with a light bomb attached to him. Only hits a Varian though, not a big amount of damage. Wrath of Angiers does miss. Valeria is being chased by Super Sticks, who is going full out for that Li Ming, all while in the front. Smoke takes all the damage in the world and ends up going down first, and the collapse is on.
Yeah, really well done by Team Rainbow Strike Go. They didn't land the greatest engage initially with that Light Bomb flying kick combination, but they were able to push in kind of a wedge. They forced their opponents to the left and to the top, and they were able to just collapse onto either side and take an advantageous team fight, and they're going to try and push that all the way to core.
Ektar, what kind of shape would you say that was in,
I
roughly?
literally just called it a wedge.
That's fair enough. I was hoping there was a property of it, maybe concave or something like that. I don't know. I wanted to do something. Johanna takes a whole crap ton of damage and does require an Anduin pull out, but I think it doesn't matter. A Greymane on a core is a very powerful force, and Team Rainbow Strike Go takes the set 2-0.
That was rather convincing in that game number 2, I think.
Strong agree. Team Rainbow Strike Go had significantly cleaner engages that game than any team has in the sets before that we've seen and on any map. So that was really, really well done. Especially on that bottom fort. Hope that makes it into the NGS highlights channel.
Yeah, that was a really cool engage behind the fort using the pre-drink shield on Chen to soak a lot of that damage. And you know, I'm really happy to see that kind of thing happen, because you know, just like a week or 2 ago, you couldn't have done that. You'd have died.
Chen would have died.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, they'd still get the wipe because, you know, that was pretty fast, but Chen would have absolutely died on that. So yeah, really, really solid play. I like that the changes are encouraging more aggressive play again, and that objectives are worth working. Yeah, for sure. Also, Chen did go into Gift of the Ox on 7, which increases the stagger damage reduction from 40 to 60%, so he's able to tank and just even more damage than expected with that. And he had the Panda Pals to be able to burn it all off anyway.
Yeah, really well executed. I like the Chen play. I don't see him very often these days, but you get one of those Chen players, and they'll show you some things that you've never seen before.
Yeah, I got to inton Chen and Brawl a little bit, and I showed him something you'd never seen before, and that was triple-digit deaths.
I didn't realize that Fat Illidan was also the new Malthael for you.
Yeah, I mean, he goes in and doesn't go out. That's exactly how it works.
All right, we have Robert saying that they are available for a post-game interview, so let's hop into one of the public lobbies, because he can't actually bring us in here, or get into here, because he's not one of them caster types.
Glad we chose the same exact channel just by coincidence. That was
Congratulations, Robert, on your 2-0 domination victory.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Sounded like you're about to say something.
No, I was just cheering, I guess.
Feeling pretty good right now?
Yeah, feeling really good. We played these guys last night, and we ended up taking a decision because one of their guys DC'd, but it was a really close game last night. It's interesting. I think they're the last team we haven't played up until last night, and when I did the research on them, I even told the captain about it too after the game last night. But these guys are so much better than their stats say. Just hats off to them. They're actually doing really good. And I don't know how many games they have left, but they actually still have a shot to make the playoffs, I believe, to get the number 4 spot. So wish them luck on the rest of the season for that.
Yeah. So obviously, like you said, you played them yesterday. What did you learn yesterday that you brought with you today into this series?
They're a hell of a lot better than I thought they were. Holy crap. The stats did not do him justice, and I know they were trying to figure out some combinations, and it clicked really well for them last night. We weren't playing our best, and it's kind of like one of those things like when you've never played a team before, they kind of have that element of surprise. But obviously we learned from our mistakes and our not so great play last night, and they capitalized on those. So we tried to minimize that, but in game 1 we're still making a crap ton of mistakes, and they were getting us there. So we were lucky to pull out that game 1 victory, and had a much better game in game 2, much more how we're used to playing.
I will definitely say it felt like for the majority of game number 1, it was at least slightly, if not at some points kind of significantly favored for PSISTORM. Like, they were playing that map very cleanly, and you were behind in kills right up until you guys won a massive team fight near the end of the game, and were able to find victory off of that. How is it that your team is able to maintain composure and play on the defensive when your opponents seem like they've got everything going in their favor?
I think that just comes with time. I think our group has played together for a few seasons in a couple leagues now, and we've lost a lot. So I don't know. It's kind of like one of those cliches, It's like success comes with a lot of failure, and we failed many times. It's like we'll have great NGS games, then we play in ranked play and get our asses handed to us, and we're like, well, dang it. So like times like that, I think that we've been in situations like that, and it's good that we pull them out, but we've been there. We've been on both sides. So times like that, we don't get any more tense than we normally get. That's just how it is, right? And obviously, you guys play competitive too. So, and if you've been playing for a bit, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It just comes with time, and you don't sweat the big moments. It's kind of like how you practice, right?
Yeah. We've definitely been around for a fair number of seasons now, and there's
we've even played you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Way back though, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was season 7 when we were in C West.
Oh, very very nice. How did we do? On that game?
We beat everybody in the division. So
okay. All right. Well,
that's where that was.
It's one of I guess one of those toilet paper moments for us, right?
There are 10 teams in the division though, other than us, and for some reason I do remember you guys having like one really specific threat. I don't remember if it was like a Leo in Tomb with a Phoenix Planet Cracker or something, but I remember some kind of wacky combo.
I remember exactly what game you're talking about, Ace.
Yeah, that was on Shrines.
Yep.
Or it was a Falstad flyover or something where you guys were just like wrecking face with that, so we banned it. There was something about your team that I'd have to go back and look at to see, but I remember you guys.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. I mean, if you say wacky combo, it doesn't surprise me, actually. I think we're up to 54 characters this year. We're definitely stretching, or this season, we're definitely trying to stretch our limits as far as what we're comfortable with and not. But yeah, wacky kind of fits a lot of our play style for sure.
Accurate. I found.
You're like,
did you find the
literally
game?
digging?
I found the game. It was Leo. It was Leo Phoenix on Shrines.
Okay. All right.
With Medivh.
Can someone delete like this part of the video so it doesn't get shown, so we can actually do it in playoffs? You're giving away our secrets, man. Come on now.
Oh goodness, how dare I? How dare I?
All right. So then, in game number 2, it was much more convincing in your team's favor. How were you able to change up your game plan to make sure that things went for Team Rainbow Strike Go instead of 95% PSISTORM, but the last 5% that matters?
Yeah, it's just kind of one of those things. It's like, if I, like, for example, in like the first game, I think I died like 2 or 3 times, like super early, as an example. So that, obviously we get penalized way more in a sense of doing those kinds of mistakes later in the game, and then if we don't make those mistakes, then our game looks a lot different, right? So it's like
that's a fact.
Yeah, I mean it's something little, but it's bad habits that carry over, and we were just a lot more mindful this time, and we weren't charging into their defense and trying to make stuff happen. We were a lot more patient the second game. We played more of our game, and when we saw those opportunities, we just took them. Really, it's just kind of how it is. We just saw it, like maybe someone stepped out a little bit, maybe we could make a play, but I mean, if you notice, we were all more likely in the same area than not in the second game, so we're kind of trying to be in the same area, following the same calls, so that helps for sure.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed about your team in particular compared to some of the other Div D teams that I've watched or casted, it's you do a very good job of pushing an advantage. Like when you got at the end of game 2, you guys get a team wipe, and you went through top keep and ended. I think there's a lot of other Div D teams that would have gotten that same team wipe and then gotten a keep, and then they'd have pulled back and gotten the objective because it's the safe play, and you're not sure what you can do and survive. You seem to have a very good grasp of what you can do after getting an advantage, and you push your advantages harder than a lot of your competitor teams.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, we definitely have we've got a couple shot callers on our team. Action. We do have a checks and balance in place, and it's kind of like assessing the situation in the moment, and then if we're going to call something off, we call it off right away. But if we don't call it off, then we're all going for it. So that just kind of happened to be one of those times, and it was a great call, and we do a lot of those, and I think that sometimes it's when our whole team is split and not on board, but a lot of times it's just kind of getting in the moment and being in sync with everyone else. And it's like when you do like a blow up combo, right? It's like you can't do it without everyone involved and everyone there at the same times, and that takes communication. But yeah, it was just one of those calls. It was a great call, and it was obviously very crunched, but we felt we were pushing with the shaman camp, and that was an advantage. And we had some little bit of time, and then I think by the time that we got there, we're just like, oh, we're going for it. We're just going to go for it. And I think at that point we were committed. So if we didn't get the core, we probably would have wiped, honestly, because that's where we're at call wise. And we were that committed. But yeah, and that's sometimes that's what it is. And again, with that time, we've been a lot of times where we didn't actually do what we thought we would do. So we kind of learned with what we can press and not. And obviously it was one of those close calls that just worked out really well in our favor this time.
I believe it was not Paradox a long time ago who had said it's often better for 5 people to make the same wrong decision than for 4 people to make the wrong decision and 1 person to make the right one.
100%. 100% agree. When we were trying to figure out who's going to be the shot calling, and Silver does the bulk of that, Kingle does it as well at times, and it's just trusting the other person's point of view. But then again, everyone getting on the same page, and that's just what we do. It's kind of like we're all in it or we're not. Ideally, is where we all want to be. 100% agree with you though. Whether it's the wrong call or not, we're all committed. So you can get more done with everyone at the same place with the wrong call than you can with maybe 2 people. So.
All right, I've personally got just one last thing, and that goes to your healer player. In game number 2, played Anduin. Have you heard of the term running with scissors?
No. Go ahead and explain.
All right, so if Anduin casts his W at the front wall before the game starts, the projectile goes out, but the wall destroys all projectiles, right?
Yes.
So
I don't know, actually. I'd have to ask my healer.
No, that's just true
for everybody.
Like if
okay.
any projectile gets destroyed by on the wall before the game starts.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, go ahead.
With Anduin, when he does his W, he throws his sword out, and then he holds it out until the projectile comes back. But before the game starts, the projectile never comes back. So he just holds his sword out until he dies.
Is that like a glitch or something?
It's like a visual bug, kind of a glitch.
That's really funny.
It is a non-gameplay affecting bug, and it is my favorite thing in the entire game, and I will stop playing Anduin when they fix that bug.
Yes, because it bugs you so much.
No, I love it. It makes him look so much better. He actually holds his sword for more than the couple seconds it's out while using his W.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So if you could, try and encourage Panda Supreme to try that in one of your unranked draft or Storm League games. It's hilarious.
I will definitely pass it along. It's very possible he might even know it already. Of everyone on the team, I probably know the least information. I just kind of show up, and they just kind of carry me through everything. And,
show up, get carried, and then take credit because you're the captain.
Yeah, I know, right? I just have a C by my name, but other than that, I don't really do much. You can see by the numbers, I don't do anything. So.
All right, Ace, you got anything?
No, I'm good. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
Cool.
That was a highly entertaining series for sure.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, if you have any last shout outs, go ahead and make them.
First off, just shout outs to you guys. Thanks for casting us and putting us on a stage. I always love watching the replays. Sometimes it's good insightfulness as far as what you guys say. Other times it's just ooh, I really did not do that play very well, or oh, we actually did pretty awesome on that play. It's always just good to kind of see that feedback. And just be put on that stage. So again, number 1, thanks for casting it, gentlemen. I appreciate it. Definitely want to give a shout out to the other team. Huge improvement. The stats this season do not do you justice at all, and you guys are a pretty darn good team. And I haven't crunched the numbers, but I do have a speculation that you guys have a shot still to get in that playoff spot. So I wish you luck the best of the season. Then shout out to our guys. Our guys did amazing tonight. Definitely fought hard last night, and we put in some time every week together, and it's always a commitment. Whether in relationships, whether we're married or girlfriends or work commitments, and I just appreciate all the work that you guys do. And then just kind of shout out for the people that are out there on the front lines. I mean that even means more now. Where we're at in 2020. 2020 is just a weird year, and for all of you guys, just stay safe and healthy out there. And NGS, thanks for existing. It's always fun to play.
Very well said.
All right, cool. That's all I got.
All right, have a good night.
All right, you guys, thanks again.
GG's.
All right, thanks.
Alrighty, that was a fun one.
Yeah, that was... we've had a lot of 2-1 sets that have been very entertaining this season. That was definitely one of the most entertaining 2-0s that I've seen.
Yeah.
And the players definitely looked like they had a lot of fun with it overall, had some great banter. Just an enjoyable set of teams to be around.
Yep. And I'm just a big fan of both those teams in general. I think PSISTORM as an organization is fantastic for the support they do in the esports scenes, and I mean, like you mentioned, we've got a history with Team Rainbow Strike Go. They're a bunch of fun individuals that like to run some wacky stuff, and not that you pointed out, I remember that game, and it was really touch and go.
Yeah, so I found the VOD. The first one was kind of wild, where it came down to one team fight. And game 2 was they pulled out the wacky stuff. Silver and Kingleberry were on the team at the time.
Very nice.
So nobody else from the current TRSG was, though, so that may explain why the history was unknown. But
well, unlike usual, I'm actually prepared with a raid target tonight. We've got Volkamer, who's casting a B-West matchup between two very recognizable team names, Spooky Ghosts and Arrogant Nephilim.
Oh, wow, that's a good matchup. And
so,
yeah, these teams have been around for a long time.
If you enjoy the stream and stuff, drop us a follow. We like to cast this game more often now than before quarantine started, that's for sure. But yeah, we have a lot of fun. Ace also streams on occasion at twitch.tv/7thace. And
if you want something completely different.
Yeah, it is. He has, I think, the 6th fastest speed run of Jet Set Radio Future Any Percent.
Yes.
So yeah,
yes.
Very different, but still fun. But yeah, we're gonna get the raid started. We're gonna hit that the first start raid button. Everyone got in there. If you're still out there, when the raid goes through, shout out to Velk's mom, because everybody loves Velk's mom. She's a wonderful lady. And they did the emote swap so fast. I was so happy.
Did you get qualified for automatic emote swap?
Not that I'm aware of.
It was a notification. I was told that I no longer have to wait for manual emote reviews.
Ooh.
There are conditions.
Thank you, who has my name for the follow. We were just about to get a raid started, so we will see all of you at some point in the indeterminate future. Yeah, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.